half jealousy, half despair, with a dash of hope. That's love, according to Verona, in this week's episode of Durarara, which was a very tense episode to say the least. And I really liked that the entire thing was sort of bookended with Masaomi scenes, but my favorite thing about this week's episode is getting to learn how Izaya is basically trying to frame Shizuo and get him killed, or at least get him into some sort of massive trouble. And then we have Aoba, who finally confronts Mikado with his gang, and he finally reveals that they are indeed a part of the Dollars gang, and they're the ones who've actually been beating up on the Torimaru gang, and they're the ones that sort of been, like, causing all of the angst in here. And Aoba himself is a very interesting character. Him and his group, the Blue Squares, they're basically like a brand new information broker group for the series. You know, Aoba himself is kind of like the next Izaya, you know? He sort of gives off that entire vibe, except that he's a little more insane. The only reason they decided to even beat up the Torimaru gang was because he was pissed off that they didn't get to go on their little tour. The scene is all the more tense because not only is he revealing all of this information outright to Mikado, but he's also asking him to be the brand new leader of the Blue Squares. While on the other side of the building, we have frickin' Verona and her buddy hanging out, and they're trying to assess the situation because Celti is right there. And then you have this other situation going on, which I think is the greatest match in Durarara history, Henri and Akane. They basically look identical to each other aside from a different shade of hair color, but I just really like the fact that they're hanging out. It just seems right. But I especially loved the scene, though, where they finally followed up with Shizuo going up to Izaya's office, going in there, and there's dead bodies all over the place, which I'm guessing is from that gang. And this is all basically to set up Shizuo, and he even got caught by one of the other members as he was running away, so definitely a lot of trouble is going to be coming towards him. But really, this week's episode was all just a setup for the big gang war that's getting ready to start. There's even this beginning battle between Chikage and Kadota, which I think is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. I love Chikage. He's a hilarious character. I especially love that scene when he was in the art gallery this week, and he basically almost beat the crap out of the owner, all because he wouldn't buy a painting for a girl just to make her happy. This guy is truly an extreme character, and that's just what makes him so funny. But really, it's just another setup episode. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Durarara? If I could describe it in one word, it would simply be tense. Especially during the whole Mikado-Aoba conversation at the very end of the episode. It just really started to build up. And I can't wait to learn a little bit more about their group because they're all so interesting. The one weird-looking cat dude, they all have really great designs, especially for Durarara. But the other thing that I really loved about this episode, my favorite subplot aside from the whole new one with the Blue Squares, is definitely Shizuo this week. I'm really interested to see where they're going with that, and I really loved the scene too, which I almost bursted out laughing while watching it, was when Akane was describing what was going on with her grandfather, who told her that a hitman by the name of Shizuo was going to kill her. And this is all obviously a lie of some sort, and he's trying to, like, play all coy and nice in front of her, and you could just, like, feel the raw hatred boiling inside of him. As soon as he got out of there, you could tell how pissed he really was. I mean, this is the type of guy who will literally hit a doorbell until his hands bleed, and he even left, like, notches in the freaking door handle. It's hilarious. It's little attentions to detail like that that I really love. But ultimately, this week's episode is another setup for a lot of crazy gang wars and fights which are getting ready to happen in the series, and I just love the fact that while all of this is going on, Izaya continues to sit in the shadows and sort of just manipulate everybody from behind. I just think that's really clever. Still, this is just more Durarara, you know, just more of the same. If you love the series, you're totally going to dig this one right here. It's a really good setup, and there's a few new characters who get to stand out in this one. So overall, this was another good episode of Durarara. Nothing groundbreaking, just more of the stuff that you love. Good animation, good artwork, really great musical score, and it's just got a really good atmospheric, tense story to tell, so I can't wait to see where it's going. So this was a good one right here. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It was a little slow in some parts. Despite that, it was another exciting episode of Durarara. Check it out, guys. Good stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And before you guys leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Durarara. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media like Facebook and on Twitter. And check out our brand new podcast show. There will be a link for that in the description box below.